Resuming Nerd World Order broadcast. Dynaphones connected. Initiating broadcast signal in
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Ladies, gentlemen, and knights of the Nerd World Order, this is the Nerd World Order broadcast. I am the man that you call Dukes, and to my right, here comes the...
Booyah! What's up, it's your boy Joe. Yo, how hype is that intro?
It's hype. And to my other right, coming straight out of Krakoa, weighing in at 178 adamantium field pounds, Alfonso X-Man Flores.
Professor Xavier is a jerk.
I don't know if I agree with that, and I don't think anyone else in the multiverse would either. But
Kitty Pryde said it.
Well, if Kitty Pryde said it, it's got to be true because she dated Peter, what is it, Rasputin? What's his last name?
I think
Peter Rasputin. There you go. Big brother of Elena, who is just an awesome character. This is the official broadcast of the Nerd World Order broadcast. I am the man that you call Dukes. Really glad to be back. Really glad to be discussing with all of you the book of Boba Fett. But before we get into the book of Boba Fett, let's tell all of you about what we did nerdy this weekend. If you guys did anything nerdy this weekend, feel free to drop it in the chat because we want to know what you did, not just this weekend, but maybe Monday through Friday. Let us know what you did that was nerdy. I went to the Pasadena Pins and Patches Expo. It was really cool. Got to see some of my favorite artists as far as pins go. Shout out to my boy El Capitan. I picked up, let's see here. Where's the camera? There it is. You guys can't see that, but I picked up that pin. Joe, you might remember the homie, El Capitan. Until Death Pins. We met him at the San Diego Comic-Con a while back.
Right.
Yeah, so I went out there this weekend and picked up a few additional pins. And
Where was that at?
It's in Pasadena.
Okay.
Yeah, I thought it was a 2-day show, but when I was talking to him, he's like, "Nah, it's 1 day, dude." I'm like, "Well, I'm glad I showed up." Yeah, it was a great show. They had pins, patches and pin show. But apparently fitted caps are just like the hot ticket right now. So everyone was getting some fitted caps to, put their pins on the fitted caps. It was a great time. Apparently they do them probably about once a month, maybe Santa Ana or Pasadena or something like that. So yeah,
That's cool.
Yeah. What else, or what have you guys been up to? Nerdy.
I think I finished Peacemaker, and I started watching the old movies with Riddick. I don't know why I kind of like that stuff. I don't know if you guys like it, but I was like, I'm okay if they came out with another movie.
Oh yeah, totally. Like Pitch Black is one of my favorite movies.
Yeah. I rewatched Riddick. I thought I seen it, but I never seen it. I only saw the second one.
Oh wow!
But the third one, it kind of goes back to the first movie, kind of like fights, little alien monsters. So I dug it. It was pretty cool. I was like, dang, I want another Riddick movie.
That actually makes me want to watch it as well. I'm probably going to check that out.
I will have to watch them for the first time. I've never seen them.
Yeah, I think the second one is on Hulu. I rewatched that one.
Right.
And the third one is on HBO Max, but I didn't see the first one anywhere.
Alfonso, do you even own a TV, bro?
I do, but you got to realize if it's over PG-13, I've only got a limited window of when I can watch it at night, and sometimes the pills kick in and I have crash. So there's not a lot of wiggle room for me.
I'm amazed at some of this stuff that you're like, never seen it.
It's not a lot, honestly. I mean, I haven't seen The Godfather, but I'm gonna get there eventually.
Bro, you haven't seen The Godfather? Have you, Alan?
When I worked at a movie theater, like many eons ago, I want to say they had Godfather 3 playing, so they like did the whole trilogy. No. Come on, you guys know I have the worst attention span, and I want to say here's what I remember about Godfather. I think it was 2 or 3. I'm not sure. It was so long they had an intermission.
Yeah.
There's no way I'm watching that.
I think the second one was better. Out of all of them, the second one was kind of like, a little bit better. But yeah, it's super slow.
Yeah.
Like I wouldn't rewatch it.
You would?
I wouldn't. I would
Oh,
not.
yeah. Okay. Yeah.
I would not.
Hey, Brett Ferriator on Facebook says never eat the popcorn. I guess that's how you get through a movie.
Never eat the popcorn. Brett knows when I worked at the movie theater, like there was some there was some shenanigans going on with the popcorn.
No
shenanigans.
Tomfoolery?
Yeah. Tomfoolery and shenanigans. Yeah. I admit to nothing. It's probably past the statutes of limitation.
Dude, all I know, you used to hook me up with the nachos. Because, back in the day, they didn't give you those little nacho. It's cheap now. They give you the little nacho bags and a little tiny, like, nacho cheese.
Yeah.
But back in the day, they used to put, like, in the brown container, they used to fill it up with nachos in there. And Alan used to hook that thing up so big and cheese everywhere, dude. And everyone would look at me like, what the hell? Because they get a little small, but mine was huge. Those were good times.
Yeah, man. That's those are all the hacks. Like, they charge you for that bowl, but if the nachos spill over and you have that brown container, oh well.
Nice.
If Alan wasn't there, it was Butkus. Remember Butkus? Butkus was right there too, and he'd hook it up too.
Yeah, because you went to Oceanside for a while, right? Oceanside High.
Well, I think my parents, like, they were moving, like they were running away from bills. So my freshman year was Oceanside High.
Okay.
And then we moved to Vista, and I went to Rancho Buena Vista. I think the second year it was built. That's how old I am. So it was the second year that was built, and it was pink. And I remember I was like, wow, okay, pink is cool because I'm secure in my manhood. I don't mind pinks. I can rock some hot pink. And then they didn't have windows yet, but they had the plastic to cover the windows because it was basically, they haven't even finished building it. Then we moved back to Oceanside, and then I went to El Camino my junior and senior year, which I was thankful for. I only went to 3 different high schools. You know how hard it is to try to make friends?
That's
true. That's true, man. I was just thinking, like, you probably knew Butkus from when you went to Oceanside High.
It was my freshman year. We used to take the bus. Yeah. He was cool.
Yeah, Butkus was hella cool, dude.
Yeah.
Shout out to Butkus.
Yeah. Amanda says she went to the Pins and Patches show also. She says it was fun. She narrowly avoided spending her entire paycheck. I don't live that life, okay? I went in there. I saw my boy El Cap. I was like, you got any of them pins? He was like, yeah, I got the thick hotties on the pins. I was like, hook it up, my bro.
Hey, pins be expensive too, man.
Bro. Yeah.
You'd be like, wait, what? What kind of pins did Amanda get?
I don't know. What type of pins did you get, Amanda? Let's see what she says. You can't tell if she's typing in the chat, but I'm sure she is.
Yours is a Gwynpool, right?
I got a Gwynpool, and then last time I saw him, I picked up Chun-Li.
Ooh.
Yeah, right. And then before that, I don't know if your cameras can capture all this magnificence there, but that's Psylocke.
Psylocke.
Oh, nice.
So pretty.
Yeah.
Dude, I used to love kicking Alan's butt with Chun-Li. He used to get mad. Because Chun-Li was so cheap, remember? You could throw on the ground. You could throw up, you jump in there, you could throw.
I thought Chun-Li was cool, but you just had the skills with, like, Joe's one of those people when we played video games, he would figure out how to beat you with every character.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
I had this buddy, Frank. He would always be Ryu. And no matter what you would do, you'd jump in, try to kick at him, you'd walk towards him. He would just do something and throw you. Like no matter what you did, he would get right there. You couldn't stop me, just all day long.
Sounds like Joe.
You remember people would be so pissed.
Yes.
They would be so mad at me. I'm like, quit jumping. Why are you jumping?
Yeah.
Stand your ground.
Amanda says she picked up some panda pins. She loves pandas.
Ooh, I like pandas too.
Pandas are pretty dope.
Yeah, pandas are dope.
Pandas are black, white, and Asian. They're awesome.
This is true.
Yeah.
This is true.
Yes.
Never mind. Never mind.
Yeah. You can't. A panda. He's a panda.
Panda.
You guys, X-Man, you're holding out on us. What did you do this weekend?
I was waiting my turn. So, last podcast, I talked about how I started my son's Millennium Falcon. For those of you who didn't listen, my son has this drive-in theater at his preschool / kindergarten. He's in kindergarten now. So for the past couple of years, I had to build him a cardboard vehicle to sit there and watch a drive-in movie in. And, you know, the first year I was like, oh man, I'm awesome. I made him a little truck. It was sweet. It was blue. And some dad came in with an X-Wing, made me look like a jerk. So then next year I came in with a Batmobile, which oh my gosh, that Batmobile was so awesome. This year I made a Millennium Falcon. So it's this probably too big cardboard Millennium Falcon. It took me like 4 boxes. I put them all together. That was last week. This week, I actually painted it all up nice and smooth. Oh, man. It looks so good. I'll put pictures up on NWO. I just posted something on my TikTok recently. But what's funny is my son, for his birthday, I allowed him to cash in all his change. And I didn't realize that he had well over $200 in there.
What?
So, yeah.
Oh, nice.
So you could pick out any Lego you want. And we looked all over for the helicarrier. There was no helicarriers to be found. And he's like, I want the Millennium Falcon, Dad. I'm like, sweet. So we got him the Millennium Falcon. We put it all together. Took us like a week, but it was awesome. But the problem is Lego ruined me because the Lego Millennium Falcon is gray. So what did I do? I went out and bought gray paint and I painted it gray. The Millennium Falcon isn't gray. It's like an off-white. Now I feel like a big jerk, but it looks so sweet.
It does look pretty awesome.
Take away my nerd card.
Yeah.
Wait. Was it off-white? I always thought it was gray.
It's off-white, man. It's like probably a little bit closer to gray, but it's not gray. It's, man.
The thing is, it depends on like which version. What I mean by that is, you know how Lucas went in there and he like redigitized everything and colorized everything,
right?
So I want to say we grew up with like maybe the off-white. I don't know, or the gray. I don't know which one. But then later on, it changed, right?
Yeah,
it's like that thing where C-3PO had that different colored leg, but no one remembers it.
Right.
Yeah.
I thought it was gray.
Yeah. I was looking
at
at some reference pictures because I wanted to, paint the sides and the top, and I was like looking for a minimalistic painting. And I'm like, wait, why is this looking white? And then I start looking up actual pictures of it, and the Disneyland one, and I'm like, oh man, it's like a dark cream off-white eggshell. I don't know, dude. It's like there's so many different shades of white.
Is the Millennium Falcon one of a kind, or are there other ships out there that look like it?
I think there was a bunch. It was like the Ford F-150 of its time,
Right.
But it was an old hunk of junk, and like it was probably like the Ford Pinto, right?
Okay.
It was out there, and then it's like, oh man, this is crap. We got to get rid of it. It's gone. So, but he had one that he souped up, and it worked well for him. He had all that area where he can hide cargo or people, whatever. So it was just the souped up version of something that was just complete, dung.
Joe, what say you?
Bro, I'm looking at the pictures. I mean, they got pictures of gray and white. So
right.
You could be right.
I'm okay with it. I'm secure with it. But my thing is, right now we've got a real Millennium Falcon out there. It's in Anaheim down the road, about a half an hour from me, and it's friggin' off-white.
Maybe because it's in space, it gives the impression that it is
like
gray,
a muted color. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, but I saw that TikTok just right now. It's pretty good. It came out good.
Yeah.
Thanks, man.
Do you know you think about cutting the hole there, and he can't? Is it heavy? Can he lift it up?
He can't. No, I can.
Oh, okay.
Maybe his teacher will. It's just for him to sit in. But the thing is, he's sitting in the very middle. So and then the cockpit. What I did was I went over to the 99-cent store and I found this big bucket of popcorn, and of course I took it out and everybody ate it. But then I was able to make that into the cockpit. And I just had an idea to where I'm going to make the satellite dish, and it's going to be a round satellite dish. None of that later on where it's square. It's going to be round.
You guys,
he could totally like do like Halloween, like Han Solo, and he could sit in it, and maybe you could put it on a wagon or something and just tow him around. That'd be pretty sick.
Yeah.
Chewbacca.
Yeah,
that'd be sick.
Alfonso,
I was thinking of actually dressing him up for this, get him a little white shirt and a vest, just so he could be some Han Solo action there.
And you're going to be Chewbacca, right?
Yeah, as best I can.
Yeah.
You know how hot that'll get, man, and that I would sweat so much.
Alfonso, do it for the culture, bro.
Yeah, do it.
All right.
Hey, but get the good Chewbacca mask. Don't get the cheap one. You remember from Step Brothers?
Yeah.
Like, you got a Chewbacca mask. You got me the cheap one, but it's okay.
Yeah, I'd do the homemade version where I'd get some of that spirit gum glue, and I'll be looking like Teen Wolf. Yeah, I'm totally Chewbacca. Bandolero.
Yeah, you could do that.
Yeah.
It's all about the accessories. Just make sure you get the belt. Was it the belt? Like an
Yeah,
ammo belt?
It's a bandolero, yeah. I got a crossbow around here somewhere.
Are you guys ready to get into the Book of Boba Fett?
Yeah.
I said Book of Boba Fett, and Joe had to take a drink. He's getting ready. Ladies, gentlemen, tonight, Joe is getting ready for this conversation. He's like, Book of Boba Fett, man. I made it through it. Book of Boba Fett. What were your first impressions when you guys started watching this whole show? Let's say first 3 episodes. What'd you guys think at first?
The first 3 episodes, it sucks because it's a follow-up to The Mandalorian, because Mandalorian was so good that it ruined anything from Boba Fett, because Boba Fett's so slow. So the first 3 episodes were just too slow. And after watching Mandalorian, I felt like it didn't live up to... I felt like Mandalorian was Boba Fett. Right. And so it was kind of slow for me. That's why. What do you think, Alfie? That's why it was slow for me. I don't know about you guys.
Yeah, my thoughts were, of course I had high hopes. I was so stoked for it. I'm like, all right, they're setting something up. It's going to get better. It's slow, but it's a slow build. The cream's going to rise to the top. I know it's coming. What's going to happen? And it's like, I think they spent too much time in the flashbacks, even though the flashbacks were better. But they spent too much time there because they should have been able to stay in there now to build there, And one thing I was thinking about is like, man, would this have been better? With the exact same content or exact same story and script and all, with a different director, could this have been salvaged? Could it have been a lot better? And yes. I think it could have, because I see all the potential there, and I think it's just, man, it could have been better. The first 3 episodes, I was trying to hold on to hope, because that's the guy I am, and it's just like slowly but surely just ate away at my soul.
I went in. I don't really care too much about Boba Fett. I probably wouldn't even be following Star Wars at this point if it weren't for The Mandalorian. I feel like that really brought me into enjoying the Star Wars universe once again. I did really like when Rey Skywalker named herself at the end of Force Awakens, Rise of Skywalker. There you go.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. That was perhaps the best thing I've ever seen in cinema, is when she just randomly named herself at the end of a movie. So expectations going into Mandalorian weren't very high, and I feel like what Joe was saying, that really made me enjoy Star Wars again. That made me think, wow, they're going to do some really great stuff with this. Those first 3 episodes were just slow. And as I mentioned before, you guys know I got like no attention span. And so these episodes were just hard to get through.
Yeah, I got a question for you. With Rey naming herself Skywalker, is that like stolen valor?
But she is a Skywalker.
Is she though?
She's a Palpatine.
Yeah.
I think what Rey was telling us all is being a Skywalker is a state of mind.
Yeah.
I walk amongst the sky as my people do.
Yeah,
But to Alfie's point though, Alan, like it's written a certain way. So I mean, granted, like, so you have mentioned this before, Alan. Robert Rodriguez is a good action sequence kind of director, but it's written a certain way, so it doesn't matter who's going to direct it. It's going to be the same story.
Interesting.
The only thing that's going to be different is you won't get the Power Ranger bikes, right? But you're still going to get those guys on bikes. It's still going to be the same outcome.
It's interesting you say that, Joe, because I was thinking about this before the podcast. And you might be right. I don't know, because I don't know if, Rodriguez took the script and just did it verbatim, or if he mixed it up a little bit. Because I was thinking, like, why is it that you can have a really good book and then it gets made into a movie and everyone tells you the movie's not as good as the book? There has to be something to the concept of, hey, when someone gets a hold of my writing, they attach their vision, which creates a slightly different, askew version of what I intended. I feel like that's what happened with Robert Rodriguez in the writing. Just my assumption.
Yeah, it's just like the way Dukes and I explained Raised by Wolves to you. 2 completely different stories. Same show. You know, it was just our interpretation, our vision. You know, that's the thing. It's all about their vision. You know, it's like, this is what I read. This is what I like. If you read a book and I read a book and Dukes read a book and everybody reads that same book and everybody loves that book, nobody's going to put it on the exact same way. You know, the content's the same, but it's like when you're playing with your 2 action figures as a kid, right? You got your action figures and you're doing your thing. You know, my game isn't going to be the same as yours. My game isn't going to be the same as his. So I look at the story and I was thinking, you know, it did have potential. It's like, with a different director, I think they could have done some different. Plus, you know, it's like some directors like, I want to stick to the script. Some directors I want to have a little more ad lib. Robert Rodriguez just got to the point to where, maybe it's because of all the Spy Kids stuff he did. Everything he did seemed childish, you know?
Oh,
you think so?
It's so interesting, man. Like, I'm glad that this isn't streaming live because my head just exploded, man. like, wow.
Kaboom!
Yeah, like, it was very childish. And whoa, X, you just like, you hit it, dude. Wow. That's so true. Even when you go back to, and you know, I don't want to jump ahead. I don't want to be that guy, but even when you go to the episode that he did, the final episode, it had a very childish quality to it. You know, oh man, X, you're on to something.
Yeah, compared to the other episodes, I mean, that was like, you know, college, and then everything else was like grammar school.
Right.
Maybe junior high.
Right.
Interesting. Didn't he direct the Mandalorian episode when Boba Fett came in?
Dude, that's what I was just thinking.
Did he?
And yeah, he did. And that's a good episode. That's my point I'm trying to make, is that was a good episode, and we weren't talking badly about that episode.
Here's what I think, Joe, because I was also trying to reconcile that episode compared to what we saw. That episode was a pure action, go in, kick ass, take names, get back my armor sort of episode. That's all that was. There was very little character development. There was very little dialogue. And I feel like when Rodriguez starts to go there, like if you look at Rodriguez action movies where it's just like, boom, action, right? Those are okay. But when he tries to make an entire movie where you develop personalities, where you develop storylines, he tends to give us that Spy Kid trash.
Yeah. You know what I'm thinking? I'm thinking in the Mandalorian episode that he directed, Filoni and Favreau said, this is what we're doing. This is what you need to do. This is what we want. And they're like, man, he did so good. Have that, Boba Fett. Do what you want to do. And then without that same reign of control, it fell apart.
Okay, but to your point, what you're making, if they had to do that for that one episode, his style, they should have did the same thing on this one.
Totally.
Here's why I think Boba Fett is not that good. None of us, or maybe you have. I know I did. I didn't read any comics about Boba Fett. I didn't read anything about the novels that came out, saying that he's still alive, that he never died in that little pit, right? Mm-hmm. And none of us really believe that because that's just, because it's not canon. Now that they're making it canon, everybody who probably have never read the comics and or the novels are thinking the Boba Fett from the movies that he was in, a mysterious character, and you want to see this guy kick butt. The problem is that's Mandalorian.
Yeah, totally.
The second problem is my boy went in there really thin and came out bigger than he was. And it's supposed to be like the time is supposed to be not that long because there's no way he was in there that long. So, and that's another problem, right? Yeah. Like if they have they could have said, yo, I need you to like not bulk up but thin down because don't actors do that for the part?
Yeah.
And you could hide the fact that he, you don't know his real age. You don't know how old he is. You can hide that because he's wearing his helmet. Right. But you can't hide the fact that all of a sudden he gets in there really thin and then he gains some weight coming out. Right. And you're catching the guy at the tail end of his career. Right. We don't want to see that. We want to see that dude that was in Empire Strikes Back, right, in Return of the Jedi. But that's not the guy that we're getting. And I think that's why a lot of people are upset with the series and why it's not doing well.
Yeah, if we would have had him in the time frame of when he was Jango Fett, that would have been perfect. But it's so much later and he's grown. It's like his body's changed. It's not even a matter of losing weight. He's an old man. I feel him. I feel it.
Yeah. 3 things. Number 1, it's clear that Boba Fett chewed his way out. So props to Boba Fett. His way out of the Sarlacc pit.
You got to do it how you do it.
Hey, Pac-Man. He had a Pac-Man, man.
Second thing is, you're right. This isn't the Boba Fett. I'm not invested in Boba Fett either way, but it's not the Boba Fett we wanted. The Boba Fett we wanted is the Mandalorian. Mm-hmm. Boba Fett to me was a cash grab because people kept saying, we want Boba Fett, we want Boba Fett, we want Boba Fett. But that's not what we wanted. We wanted Boba Fett like, I don't know, 20, 30 years ago. Mm-hmm. And what they gave us was, unfortunately, a realistic portrayal based on the chronology and the timeline of who this guy would be now. Mm-hmm. So it's like, hey, I can't align myself with fans who asked for something for years, but didn't expect it to be done in a manner that was logical. Like, hey, I am 30 years older. I gained a little weight. My metabolism slowed down a little bit. I have to change the way I do things.
Mm-hmm. What if the Book of Boba Fett was just something to throw us off the scent? Because everybody's like, want Boba. But like, we've got Mando for you. But yeah, Mando's cool. We want Boba. It's like, you know what? Okay, we'll give you Boba. Then you're going to take the taste out of your mouth now. Now you want Mando. You only want Mando, right? Shut up about Boba Fett.
Yeah.
But Disney owns Star Wars, so they could have just made Mando Boba Fett.
Yeah, exactly.
You didn't have to make Mandalorian. You could have made my thing is why not do Boba Fett where he's young before Empire Strikes Back? There's no reason for them to do it now as he's older. They could have did something new. No one has anything to compare it to, right? And you could just build from it and he could just be a badass, just like Mandalorian.
Yeah.
Now, here's another thought I want you guys to think. Obi-Wan Kenobi. They're not doing an old Obi-Wan Kenobi. They're doing like the younger one, like when he's on Tatooine. Now, if gosh, I can't think of his name right now, dude. Oh,
Ewan McGregor?
No, his master. I can't think of his name.
Oh, Qui-Gon?
Qui-Gon. If Qui-Gon doesn't show up as a ghost in that Obi-Wan series, people are gonna flip out. You know the Force Ghost, Alan, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, I didn't know if you know what's up. Because, dude, he's gonna have to show up in that series because that's what people are gonna be waiting for. Because if he showed up, you remember when he showed up to Yoda, he's like, "Hey, I got something to teach you." If he doesn't show up with Obi-Wan, people are gonna be like, "What the hell?"
I didn't realize he had shown up to Yoda.
Yeah, it was. I can't remember. I can't remember which Star Wars guy didn't like the prequels, but I think was it Alfie? Was it when they redid them?
That Qui-Gon showed up?
No, Qui-Gon. No, they didn't redo it. Qui-Gon showed up at the end with Yoda.
No, that was young Anakin, wasn't it?
No, that was Qui-Gon.
Oh man, I don't know.
Like he ended up showing up and he talked to Yoda. Was Obi-Wan there? I can't remember. It's been years, but he shows up and he talks to him like, "Hey, I got some things to teach you." Maybe it was Obi-Wan.
I got to watch it again anyways because the kid's about to be 7. You know, next year.
The torture.
He has to know my pain.
Yeah.
Yeah. The only thing I really remember about the the prequels is I didn't dislike Jar Jar Binks as much as a lot of other people did.
Right.
But the idea that he was a Sith, either it's bad writing,
right,
or based on all the YouTube stuff, he was definitely going somewhere because he seemed a lot more ominous than just being the clown, than being the town clown,
Right. Well, like when he dropped all those bombs, man, that was like some drunken master stuff. Oops!
Yeah.
Whoa, I fell over. Boomba!
Yeah.
Well, they were saying that's what I think Lucas had an idea that's what he was going to do, but
yeah,
I think he sold it by then. Dude, if that would have happened, how the dynamic would have changed everything. You would have been like, wow, I can see it. This character is dope. Yeah. And there's a lot of people that like the Sith. And it's perfect setup for him to be the Sith because he was annoying as hell.
Yeah.
But if you're going to be a Sith, isn't that what they do?
Yeah.
They hide in the shadows and you don't think he's anything bigger. I mean, there was a bunch of different videos about even Mace Windu that was dope. I mean, it seems like people that discuss where characters should go seem like it's a lot better than the actual people that write stuff about them,
Yeah, totally. It's like people who pay attention to the fans make excellent product.
Mm-hmm.
People who make things that they want, that's when we have problems.
Right.
Are you guys ready to talk the let's see here, the Bryce Dallas Howard and the Dave Filoni episodes?
Misa thinks I'm ready to go.
Yeah.
Muy.
Bryce Dallas Howard, let's focus on her abilities as a director.
Dope.
I know, I just ruined her day.
She's good.
So good.
Yeah.
She's a beautiful, good actor and director.
Yeah.
Which proves your guys' point. She directed it and it was so good.
Yeah.
So you could say it's writing, it's her.
Yeah, even the whole tone was completely different. It was good. It felt like we're back in Mandalorian, which it was a Mandalorian episode, but oh man, and then when they you got Ahsoka, you got Luke, you got R2, you got Grogu, you got oh my gosh, it was like
yeah,
spider robots. Oh wait.
No.
But is that why it was good? Because they brought back Mandalorian?
Here's my observation of, let's see here, Robert Rodriguez. His experience in movies, like working with Quentin Tarantino and a few of his own, is non-sequential storytelling. That's what he gave us in all of his episodes up until the very last one. Non-sequential storytelling. The problem was him. Because the first episodes, it's like, I'm in the future, I'm in the past, I got a lizard up my nose. And the way that he tells stories are the things that we didn't like about his episodes. So I feel like when someone else took the same material that was presented to them from Favreau, they were like, hey, we're going to tell this story in a straightforward manner. There's no, Grogu, this happened to Grogu like a year ago, and this happened here. No, it's like, Mando's here, Grogu's here, this happened, boom.
Yeah. But here's the thing, though. How many episodes did this guy direct? Like Dave Filoni and like John, I can never say his name. Favreau. They didn't say like, yo, we need someone else to direct this episode.
Consider this, my bro. Maybe they did.
Yeah.
Because out of nowhere, BDH, Bryce Dallas Howard, that's what I call her, BDH, comes in and says, hey, I got this episode. And then your favorite, Mr. What's his name?
Filoni.
Dave Filoni. Joe loves Dave Filoni. I would know who Dave Filoni is until Joe started telling me about him. Filoni comes in, and those are the best two episodes, right? Mm-hmm. So someone's probably looking at like the dailies and all the shows, and they're like, we got to do something.
They're like, whoa. It was Ron Howard. He looked at it. He's like, get my daughter. Then why would they have him do the last episode then?
For the spin move, dude. Unnecessary spin move. Because I feel like the reason that they used him for that last episode is because if they didn't, it would have been way too evident that they identified his directing was a problem.
Bro, it is. Who cares, bro? They need to say, tag, I'm in, sucker.
I bet you it was already filmed. I bet you he filmed all his stuff before. And then they went back and did those. Because, they were so different. They were so, man. But, yeah.
But still, you got to watch it. Like, I'm sure they watched it and, they think like,
They're like,
yeah.
Yeah, let's get into the you guys can discuss the BDH episode, or if you guys want to discuss the Filoni episode, feel free. Any thoughts on those two specifically? Anything that stood out?
Yeah, they were so good.
Basically, it was like, was it Mando season 3?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It just picked up. So it's almost like they used the Boba Fett series to finish some loose ends for the Mandalorian. So when the Mandalorian season 3 comes out, it gets right into it. Because now it's like when Boba Fett ends, this is what I'm thinking. Nothing about Boba Fett. I'm going to be honest. I'm thinking Baby Yoda and Mandalorian, where do they go from here? Like, is Baby Yoda going to be an Obi-Wan? Is Baby Yoda going to die? When does Baby Yoda die? Because basically, Baby Yoda's going to die.
I don't know.
Or what if they go back to Mandalore, right? And the Mandalorian reestablished the whole Mandalorian culture, and that's where Baby Yoda's been. And because if Baby Yoda's there, the Baby Yoda's not really going to be using the Force, so therefore, you know what I mean? Like, who knows? That's the big question that took away from me at the end of Boba Fett. It had nothing to do with Boba Fett. And then Ahsoka. I get hyped up for Ahsoka because that's my favorite character.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm like, where does she go from here, right? But Boba Fett, like, it ends, and I'm just like, okay.
One thing about Grogu, he, like, Luke reawakened a lot of the information that he had locked in his head from trauma. He can jump, he can flip, he can do all those moves now. And he gets tired, but I'm sure as he grows and practices more, I don't think he's going to lose it. And who's to say he didn't be like, all right, Luke's asleep. I'm going to go ahead and take Yoda's lightsaber with me, and we're going to go hang out with Mando. Why not? Or, Ahsoka was like always against the Jedi and against the Sith. Why wouldn't like they meet up with her later? Like, they're getting the band back together and she's gonna help out. And they're like, oh, hey Grogu, I went ahead and made you this because you could probably use it. So I think there's a lot to that. I don't think he's done with the Force just because he's not going to train anymore. I mean, look at Luke. He wasn't done with the Force and he wasn't done training either. And all of a sudden, one day he's a Jedi Master. You know what I mean? It all came natural to him. But Grogu has probably had more training than what Luke did by the time Empire happened, or the end of Empire. So there could be big things there for Grogu. And then the Darksaber, right? The episode where Mando comes in, he starts using his Darksaber, and he like cuts himself. I'm like, whoa, that was so cool to see because I was listening to somebody talking about how like, lightsabers are the tools of a Jedi. That's the weapon of choice for a Jedi. It's like, well, if a lightsaber is so, powerful and easy to use, everybody would have one, right? Why not? Why wouldn't you want somebody who can cut through anything? Jedis die all the time. Well, in Order 66, they did. Somebody had to collect those lightsabers, right? Sell them on the black market. Next, everybody and their kids got one. But if you don't know how to use it properly, if you don't have to focus the flow of the energy, it's not going to work so well for you, right? Mm-hmm. And somebody else I heard explain the way, like a sword has a counterbalance. Like, the hilt is so heavy, but the blade has weight to it too. So, it allows you to flow. With a lightsaber, there's no weight to the laser sword part of it, right? So it's not quite the same. So, and I like the way it started to drag down because he wasn't using you got to use the Force to help it move. You got to feel it. There was a lot to that. So I really appreciate that. I like the way they did that. And that stuff alone right there, fighting with the Jon Favreau Mandalorian for the right to the Darksaber, learning how to fight with the Darksaber against the blacksmith, all that right there was so much better than the first 3 episodes by itself.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's
what they're saying. The Darksaber is kind of alive. So basically, like, the reason why he struggles with it is because he hasn't accepted the fate of him being the ruler for Mandalore.
Oh.
And so that's why it's heavy and he can't lift it up to where, dang it, I can't remember the other guy's name. The brother. I don't remember. Gideon? No, not Gideon.
Oh, Gideon. Los Hermanos Pollos?
I don't remember his name, but the reason why he's able to wield it is because even though he's not Mandalorian, he wanted to rule Mandalore.
Right.
And so the Darksaber accept them because the Darksaber has the Mandalorians in their, best interest. Yeah. So even though he's not Mandalorian, he wants to rule it, so therefore he's able to wield it. And that's why he's able to swing it around. And
that makes sense.
Mandalorian can't do it.
And you're right, it is Gideon. It's Moff Gideon.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Yay.
Yeah. I was like,
I'll be butchering names, bro.
he's not a Grand Moff. He's only a Moff.
Yeah,
because there was Grand Moff Tarkin,
yeah.
And you got Moff Gideon. And oh man, did you see how scared he was when Luke came in? Oh, that's a whole different story.
It was,
dude, the fear. And then everybody else like, who's this guy? It's like, yeah, he saved the universe, but it wasn't televised. How's everybody supposed to know that?
If you really think about it, like Anakin or Luke Skywalker never brought balance to the Force. His whole gene, basically anything with love, just destroyed the whole Jedi.
I don't know, man. Didn't Vader bring balance when Order 66 was executed? It's like, I'm gonna get rid of all these fools. There, now there's one Sith and one Master, right? Or Sith and whatever. And then you got a Padawan, and that was balance right there. You had 4. Yoda was
balance
dead.
For the Sith.
Wasn't that the? I thought Joe, you had mentioned this before, that the interpretation is that the Jedis are supposed to be the good guys, but what they actually want for you is contrary to human or alien, whatever we want to call it, but it's contrary to human nature because they want you to remove all emotion. Mm-hmm. So the idea is actually that the Sith want you to embrace your natural self, and they're more likely to achieve a balance than the Jedis because the Jedis are so extreme.
Yeah, because you can't love it all. And the most powerful Sith is what? Someone that said that they were told they couldn't love.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And if loving you is wrong, I don't want to be right.
Don't want to be
In
right.
fear, in love and fear, right? Because Luke
Yeah.
feared Kylo was gonna. You can't be like, "Hey, yo, bro, are you okay? Like, are you gonna go to the dark side? No, let me just try to kill you, and I think that's gonna be okay." Like, I think that's why people get upset because that's not Luke's character. Like, this you think you can save your dad, which you did, but you can't save your nephew.
Well, it's the whole idea that the Jedi's like, it's the repression of that feeling, right?
Mhm.
It's the repression which leads to the bad decisions. Every time when Luke tries to repress his feelings, it results in a bad decision, So I thought you were the one who said it, Joe, that the Jedi's are actually the bad guys in all of this.
Yeah,
because
they are.
They
are.
That makes sense.
Let's get into that final episode, gentlemen. Let's ride a Rancor.
Oh,
Bro,
God.
why didn't he do that from the beginning? Like, if you know you got that thing in there, let me just ride that thing instead of. Here's another thing. Okay, you're in a castle, right? Jabba the Hutt castle. It's indestructible. Like, you're not you. There's only. It's like Lord of the Rings. I heard someone say it's like Lord of the Rings. Imperial Down. You have one way to get in, so you have the higher ground, like Obi-Wan Kenobi. You have the higher ground, but you choose to stay in a little inn and listen to a girl that was beating up the locals for money. Now wants you to stay there and say, "Oh, if we leave, the locals are going to be disappointed." Nah, you were robbing the locals. So I'm kind of confused, and that's not Robert Rodriguez, bro. That's the writing. That just doesn't make sense to me, right? And then you got. Was it Kakistan? How do you say his name?
Chrysanthemum.
You're going to be the biggest dude. Bro, if this dude was playing dodgeball, he'd be done. He's just going to stand in the middle and say, "Hey, come and shoot me and hit me." It's like, bro, you're supposed to be the best bounty hunter, and you're in plain sight. Like, I just don't get it.
He's like, "My leg. Oh, I'm fine. Oh, my leg. Oh, wait, no, I'm fine."
I was confused by that too. I was like,
yeah,
his leg is dangling, and then in the next scene, he's just like doing this smile jog, and then his leg is dangling off, looking like what was it, Anderson Silva?
Oh man, that was so bad.
Oh,
he looked like Anderson Silva in some scenes, and then in other scenes, he was just jogging. I'm like, how's that work?
It's Wookiee technology.
Hey, bro, what was up with your brother Scad? He just did the Robert Rodriguez. I'm gonna turn real slow and then shoot. I'm like, no, bro. Like, I'm not here for that. Like, just, I'm like, dude.
When he did that, he should have went.
Yeah. It just, I don't get it.
Yeah, there was a lot about the final episode that made me hope someone else would have directed it.
Mm-hmm.
It just didn't flow well. Like when the Rancor lost. Oh, by the way, spoiler alert. Anyway, so if you don't know, it's too late because now you know. When the Rancor lost it and he started climbing buildings and ripping apart everything, I was like, yeah. I was like, dude, it's like they had to figure out a way to extend it and create some additional drama. So the Rancor just lost it.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I mean, to be fair, the episode was bad, but it had some pretty good moments. I mean, there was the one scene where Boba and Mando, they like come in their jetpacks, and it's like that picture moment that was super sweet. Riding the Rancor was still pretty cool. I mean, honestly, I don't know why, you got 10, you're fighting 10, 15, 20 guys at the most, right? I'll be right back. Why not get Slave One or whatever they're calling it nowadays, right? Why didn't Mando go back with him and jump in his Naboo fighter and just gun everybody down like Boba Fett did those bikers? You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Those two ships would have taken everything out. They would have been fine, right? Oh, man.
I get Return of the Jedi because, like Boba Fett couldn't fly that far because of special effects.
Right.
But I'm like, is there a time limit on the jetpack? Like if you're playing a video game, like you got 15 seconds that you can fly in the air. I'm like, I wouldn't come down. I'm like, why are you coming down? You have the higher ground. Did you not learn anything from Obi-Wan Kenobi? You have the higher ground. I just don't understand it. I mean, that fight scene was cool. But then again, like you said, dude, his Star Cruiser is dope, dude. He could have literally took out the whole army and been like, what?
Yeah.
Oh man, that was nuts. I mean, you got to think about it. Those jetpacks, they are cool, but you can't really have a really big fuel reserve in those.
But in the earlier, in the first and second season of The Mandalorian, weren't the Mandalorians just flying for extended periods of time with their jetpacks?
Right.
Yeah.
They were going on field trips.
And then another thing, so there's only one of them that survived with the person that, I don't know her name, that makes their gear for them. There's only two of them left?
Well, that one chick died 3 times, the one in the green. Yeah, it was so funny. I was watching something about it. They're like, oh, look at over here. This guy, look, he's dead. Oh, he's back up. This guy's so they were dealing with that Chrysanthemum technology there, where they're fine. They get, yeah.
And how did Black Chrysanthemum even fit into the regeneration tank? Because Boba Fett was like, "Oh, I'll get you back in the regeneration tank." Does that thing extend or what?
It's work. 2 more clicks. Click, click, click.
I thought it only worked on clones. Apparently not.
No, because the first time we saw it, Luke Skywalker was in it after he got his hand cut off. In that fight after Empire, he was in the tank,
But why?
And then they used it in Starship Troopers. You're dead.
Yeah, man. The more you guys talk about this episode, the worse it gets.
Well, why would if it was only his hand? Why you're right, Alan? Why was he in there?
Because they just fixed his hand. They give him a new one.
I was a little kid and I was watching. I was like, I guess he's in the. I don't even know why he's in there, but whatever.
For electrolytes, it was the electrolytes. The alkaline.
Oh man, dude.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of something that I liked about that episode. Even when the people from whatever town that was came in.
Yeah.
It's like
Freetown.
My thing was they kept bringing more people in and be like, oh, wow, they'll save the day. And then those people got shut down. They'd be like, oh, this will save the day. And then those people got shut down.
Wait, they go, we're going to bring an army. We're going to have a whole garrison. 5 guys show up in a boat.
Yeah. But what's the point of that? Why would they park it? Why don't we just keep driving and shoot everybody? No, let me just park it and get shot at.
Oh my goodness.
I don't understand.
Well, I'll just say overall, I think the BDH and Filoni episodes definitely were a shining moment in the show for me, and overall made me enjoy the total show. Let me ask you guys this. Were there any characters that stood out that you'd like to see more of? Any spin-offs that you hope would come from this show?
Cad Bane.
Dude, why you gotta bring up something else to make me rant? Right? You finally take this character that I know little to nothing about, but I know he's a badass. And people have been waiting for him, right? And he comes out and he's a badass. And he gets the 5-minute treatment, and he's dead at the end of 5 minutes after the entire internet's blew up and got hyped on him.
Yeah.
Okay. He had to have been super tired because he walked from town to town, right? He was exhausted. Probably a little heat stroke, you know what I mean? He needed some electrolytes.
Boba Fett killed him, I think. I'm not sure if it's in the comic books or the books. So Boba Fett does kill him.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, and you know what's funny is I saw some stuff where they brought in some deleted scenes from something where Boba Fett and him actually had a shootout originally. And that's why Boba Fett has the dent in his helmet from Cad Bane. And also Cad Bane after his hat fall off, you saw that he had a metal plate over his brain because Boba Fett shot him in the head.
Oh,
So
wow.
that was a deleted scene from one of the cartoons, I think. Clone Wars, not Clone Wars. Yeah. But it's like apparently Cad Bane trained him for a while, took him under his wing after Django died. But he was a cool looking character. I liked it, and I remember seeing a couple episodes of Clone Wars where he's like sliding down something or jumping up something. It's like, how's this guy taking out Jedis left and right with, a couple of 6-shooters? But
he was dope.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I liked him. Even with my limited exposure to Clone Wars, I thought he was awesome.
Yeah. He has a cool looking look.
Yeah.
Yeah. So other than a rant-worthy character, any other standouts? Anything you want to see more of?
Maybe Cobb Vanth.
Yeah.
The guy at the end of the was it end credit scene? He was just getting recuperated. I'm kind of curious to see like how much and what part of his body is going to have any mechanical stuff, even though he just got shot in the shoulder.
Well, he's going to lose the whole arm. So he's going to have a super fast, quick draw mechanical arm now.
My dude got shot in the shoulder. I'm like, come on, Robert Rodriguez. Yeah. He's got to be shot in the gut or something, man. He got shot in the shoulder, and I was like, all right, cool. At the end, he's just going to come out and start helping. Apparently, I guess he died. I'm like, wait, what? He got shot in the shoulder. Like, I don't get it.
Joe, was he a character from the Clone Wars or anything previously?
They made a book about him.
Oh,
okay.
And so that's where that character came from. It came from a book. I think they had a trilogy of the book with him in it.
Oh wow.
Yeah, because he basically had basically had Boba Fett armor in the book, so he was wearing it, and so that's why they had that Mandalorian episode where he was wearing it already.
Okay.
And so basically, it just became canon. That's why a lot of people who read the books are like, "Oh, dang, he's canon."
Got it. Okay, good stuff, man.
I do want to file a personal grievance here. Cad and Cobb, Vane and Bane, their names are too similar. It's a bunch of BS.
Yeah.
But I want to say they were created by different writers, so I mean, it's just coincidental, maybe.
It's kismet.
Or I could be wrong. Maybe it's the same person that created both. I don't know.
Maybe writers just say, "Hey, this sounds cool." Maybe phonetically that sounds cool, so they just run with it. So I have a complaint.
Okay.
Some might refer to it as a rant. It's the Lazarus Pit Effect, or it's the effect where people die, but at the end of the day, we can bring back anybody. We figure out a way to bring back anybody, which reduces the impact of having anyone shot, killed, maimed, anything like that. That's just bad writing. You shouldn't go through all that nonsense to simply say, "Oh, look, we got a screwdriver in a bucket of water, and now they're back alive."
Yeah. I don't think that's going to bring people back from the dead. I think it's like your hospital in a tank. You know what I mean? It's just there to help you heal and to fix things. But I don't think it's going to bring anybody back from the dead.
Okay. Did you guys not think your boy was dead when they left him in that desert?
He was shot in the shoulder. Or who, Boba Fett? He just had a sunburn. He just needed some SPF 5000.
Every character you think is dead. I'm surprised he didn't take some of the Tuskens and take them and put them in the regeneration tank.
I think that's what they do, because even Darth Maul came back in the Clone Wars series. He's going to be back in Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Yeah, he was cut in half. Like the top half survived somehow.
Yeah, come on, bro.
Well, the one downfall about killing somebody with lightsaber, cutting them in half, or it cauterizes the wound instantly, so they're not bleeding to death, right? So that gives them time to put him in the back of the tank and get him some robotic spider legs.
But what about when they turn into sand? Do they scoop the sand up and pour it into the tank?
Yeah, it goes to they can't think of anything new. He kills Darth Maul, and everyone loves Darth Maul, and he's like, "Dang, that's a dope character," and we only had him in one episode.
Yeah.
Let's bring him back in the Clone Wars. Boba Fett was only in a couple. Let's bring him back. Alan had mentioned this before. It's just a money grab. Yeah. No one can come up with anything like the Cobb Vanth and then Cobb Vanth. those are dope characters. You could build their own series. You don't need a Boba Fett, right? I would love to see that the dude walk. I mean, does he ride somewhere and then he just parks his cars, his border Power Ranger bike somewhere and then walks like he's been walking a mile? Like, what does he do? Like, I would love to see something with that guy. I would love to see something with the marshal in his town. They have characters there, but I guess it's just a fan service, like you've said before. Like, people just want to see what they want to see. But Alfie had also said they give you stuff that you don't think you need, but you really need. And that's what they need to start doing, I think.
Yeah. Wait, are you saying a space Western might be a good idea? We'll get some guys in brown coats. We'll get, Serenity. Is Serenity? No, what was the show called again? Firefly.
Once again, Alfonso disappoints because Star Trek was pitched as a space Western.
Shut up,
really?
I
think it was. Yeah.
Yeah. Dude, you just completely shot me down, X. I was like, X is going to make a Star Trek reference. And you're like,
Firefly.
Hey, Firefly was good, though.
It's so good.
Aren't they going to redo it? Yeah, dude, you took me to go watch the movie.
I didn't know it was a Firefly movie.
Bro, you said, dude, there's a TV series and it got canceled. I'm like, I've never seen it.
Yeah, I think I said 18-year-old me said, hey, that girl's hot and she does flips and stuff. Let's go watch this.
It was a good movie, though.
Yeah.
And that one girl was hot and she did flips. So.
Wait, was she in Terminator? No, that wasn't her, huh?
No, she was in the Sarah Connor Chronicles. Summer Glau?
Yeah.
Yeah, she was in the Sarah Connor Chronicles.
Oh, wow. Alfonso didn't even have to Google that.
Not tall.
Because I was like, I'm pretty sure. I thought she was a Terminator. I was like, I thought I saw her in Terminator.
Yeah.
That's right. Okay.
She was a Terminator.
Yeah.
She played another character with no personality who kicks butt. But you know what? I don't know if that they were talking about rebooting the franchise and everything. I can't see them doing it now with all the pressure on Joss Whedon.
Ooh.
Oh yeah, he's got a lot of pressure.
Yeah, and that's all him.
Yeah.
Was it?
Yeah.
Wow. Oh yeah, that is.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
that was his baby. Yeah.
Well, we have made it through all 7 or 8 episodes of the Book of Boba Fett.
Yeah, I think it's 8.
Okay, we have made it through
7.
Oh.
Do I have 5? 5. I get 5.
No,
7.
I think it was 7. It was 7.
It was
Peacemaker's weird. 8.
Right.
Okay.
Because Robert Rodriguez did one more episode and like we're getting rid of that one completely.
Isn't that possible? Like, wouldn't you seriously think that's possible? Like, they were just like, there is no reason to have this additional episode if it's made by Robert Rodriguez.
Well, they have an 8-episode formula at Disney Plus.
Yeah.
Right? That's their thing. So 7? I mean, who makes 7 episodes of anything?
They probably said, you know what? This is trash.
They're like, okay, we're going to take what we got. We're going to make the best of it. And then we're going to have Bryce Dallas Howard do one more episode. And we're going to have Dave Filoni do one more episode. And then we'll just call it a day.
Just call it a day. Like you guys said, the final episode was already done. So anything that Filoni and BDH did was simply fixing or trying to give us something we'd enjoy. Gentlemen, we are at the end of this episode of the Nerd World Order broadcast.
No.
It's true. It's true. So who wants to not give us a Robert Rodriguez level final thoughts?
I'll go. I got it. All right. First of all, before I say anything else, I want to give a huge shout out to 2 new listeners in the Washington area. We're all over the globe here. Chuck and Brittany, thank you so much. Thank you so much for listening. I appreciate your feedback. I love the comments. You guys like everything. Thank you so much. And then when it comes to Nerd World Order broadcasts, I want you to go back and remember yourself as a 8-year-old kid. You have these toys that you love and you want to share them with your friends. So you collect them all, you share them with your friends, trade them with your friends. That's what I want you to do with us. Tell everybody about us. Get us out there. Share the love, guys.
I want to thank Amanda and Brett for putting a few comments in there. Brett's a huge Star Wars fan, huge Star Wars collection. Brett has a tattoo of the Millennium Falcon on his back, bro.
Oh,
okay?
Is it off-white or gray?
Who was it? Was it Brett or was it somebody else that you had me go sign Darth Maul?
That was Brett.
That was Brett, huh?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Brett is serious about. Brett said Star Wars. Star Wars,
Right.
you say? I'm going to listen to this one.
I remember doing that. I remember I got a picture with him too.
Yeah, that was pretty cool. So thank you both for listening. Thank you for everyone else who listened to the show today. That's right. This concludes this episode of the Nerd World Order broadcast. So until next time, ladies, gentlemen, and knights of the Nerd World Order, I am NWO.
We are NWO.
Nerds Redefined. Booyah!